Welcome back, ladies and gents. We're picking up right where we left off. We defeated a Slitherfang and protected everything to the best of our abilities. Sadly, we could not quite stop everything from happening. So let's get on and save Hikaru. Okay. Grab that. Okay.
This isn't finished! I'll be back with everything I have! And all who stand with Hikaru will be run red.
At attention. You fought well. Proved yourself against enemies both metal and flesh. I name you all Marshal. Your first order is to secure the arena from any remaining rebels. Go. I failed. I should have finished Regala. But now she'll be back with more machines. Stronger than ever.
I'll do what I can to help.
No, you've done enough. Far more than our bargain called for. When we first met, you spoke of your true mission on which all depends. I wasn't certain if I believed you then. But I believe in you now. So leave me. And get to your task.
What will you do?
Tend to the wounds. What you need is there. Take it. Your deeds today will be remembered like those of the Ten.
This is it. Aether's below. What was this? There. That console.
Whew, safe landing. And also, read at your leisure. Answer the guy, Colonel.
Time to go home. Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master override activated. Restoring ether subordinate function to original code.
Got it. Gotta get this back to Gaia.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be beautiful.
The visions in the grove have changed. The words of the Ten are now clear to us. Here, this must be the vision that Chief Icaro saw years ago.
More than
The
likely it
visions
is.
throughout the grove are different now. And this one, it just appeared. Is this your doing?
Visions have changed.
That's the one that inspired Chief Icaro.
More testimony of the old ones.
Hear now the words that reunited a people. Following the tragic events of the war, Anne Faraday, the chief architect of the reconciliation effort, addressed a nation in need of hope.
If we look into the future, the lens of the recent past, our fears loom. Wars waged against machines, scarcity of food and water, storms that drive us from our homes. But true courage means facing those fears with conviction instead of cynicism. Leading the peacekeeping effort with these brave men and women, these marshals of the new Southwest, has strengthened my conviction that when we are united, we can overcome any threat. Join me. Join us in that conviction as we strive for a nation and a world without want or war.
Reporting for duty, Commander. I'm coming with you.
But Icaro needs you.
Because of you, he has new marshals. And a rallying cry the clans cannot ignore. So I will stand with you on your mission. Give whatever is left of my life. It is what I choose.
How can I say no to that? Zoe, there's someone who wants to join us. I need you to meet him in the foothills and guide him the rest of the way.
Will do, Aloy.
Go to the mountains, west of Plainsong. A friend of mine will meet you on the ascent. I'll join you when I can.
A friend of yours? Should be interesting.
All right. I need to get Ether back to Gaia. Seems like capturing it did something to the other holograms, too. Maybe worth checking out.
I will point out that when I first played this game, I thought Katala was going to turn into a great villain. So I wasn't expecting. You know, I wasn't expecting him to join us on this. It honestly, it became a beautiful misdirection on my part.
Discover how JTF-10 claimed home field JTF-10 seized key assets all across the desert. Where others feared the Mojave's raging sandstorms, JTF soldiers used them for cover, crippling enemy supply lines.
Just sounds like standard war anymore. But, oh well.
Observe the grit of JTF-10 in the mountainous regions of the hot zone. Trained to outlast, conditioned for any climate. JTF-10 were elite defenders in even the most remote mountain landscapes.
Okay, I'll give it. That was not part of it.
Aloy,
Out in the field or relaxing at base, Terra's Task Force 10 acted as one.
Victory buys a place in
Led by Colonel Edward de la Hoya, their bodies and weapons were always honed for battle. Meals, ink, bruises. These daredevils of the sky shared it all.
do you have a moment?
Yes, that guy. Have a
Blood of
moment.
the Ten, Aloy. Regala denied. The truth of the visions revealed. I doubt you have enough skin to mark all your deeds.
We'll just have to remember them then.
Well, thanks to you, the chief still lives. And hope remains. But that's not why I wanted to speak with you. I need a favor. A personal one. My grandson, Cavo. He was not counted among the dead, which means he must still be with Regala's remaining forces.
He was taken prisoner.
No. He joined them willingly. Like many young soldiers who seek to mark their skin with distinguished deeds. I must search for him. Convince him to come home. Chief Hekarro cannot spare any soldiers for this task, so my blade is alone in this. Unless you'd be willing to join me. I know it is much to ask after all you've done for us. But Cavo is the last of my blood.
Honest, I would love to help you find your grandson.
What made Cavo join Regala's rebellion?
For some, Regala represents a chance of vengeance against the Karja. During the Red Raids, it wasn't easy to turn the clans back at Barren Light. Many wanted to pursue the Karja all the way to Meridian.
So when Regala attacked the embassy, they took it as a call to arms.
Yes. But others, the young especially, care only about the glory they think they'll earn by hunting an age-old enemy. As for Cavo, it was probably a bit of both. And a youthful desire for a cause to get the blood burning. Nothing I said could stop him.
So if Cavo didn't listen to you when he joined the rebels, what makes you think he will now?
Cavo was too young to fight during the Red Raids. War was a stranger to him. But he must have experienced the suffering it brings by now. He will listen. He must. I just have to find him before it's too late.
You said Cavo's your last living relative?
Yes. Before Chief Hekarro, the clans warred constantly with each other. Every skirmish claimed another comrade. One by one, I buried my children. And then, their children.
I'm sorry.
I tried to vent my grief on the battlefield, but I never found comfort there. Only in the wisdom of the visions. And even so, I still couldn't prevent Cavo from following the trail of blood.
Yeah, no, this is part of the reason why I would love to actually do her side quest. The emotions attached are absolutely beautiful.
If Cavo joined Regala's rebellion of his own accord, will Hekarro let him back into the tribe?
The chief knows the value of mercy, and the toll of unending bloodshed. It's the rest of the tribe I'm more concerned about. They won't quickly accept someone who betrayed them. Even with my support, it won't be easy.
But you have to try. I'll help you find your grandson, if I can. Where do we start?
A while back, our scouts reported Cavo's squad left one of Regala's outposts in the hills to the south. His squad never returned, but the scouts also spotted one of our own being held captive there.
So we'll start at the outpost. If we free the prisoner, maybe they'll know where Kevo's squad went.
Shall we head out?
I'll
I
meet
have
you
some
there.
other things to take care of first. I can meet you there.
I'll wait for you on the hill crest southeast of the grove. We'll make our way to the outpost from there. Until then, strike true.
I feel it is only fair that, yeah, I'm a little too weak for that. The roots that bind, huh? Oh yeah, the Utaro village of Riverheim. I forgot about that. Whoops. A plowhorn, a ravager, Evira. Huh. Unity. Military. Okay, so R must be like revisited or something similar. The Gaia kernel. Woohoo! I've got Aether to add. Hooray.
That fight was a sight to behold.
The desert tank contestants look good for this challenge.
Ready to glide in?
Oh yeah. I love doing that and I don't know why. Back to the base. Gotta go back to the base. But no, it seems like Hikaru is basing the way he's ruling the clans together off of something that was genuinely good, so. Whereas, the person he, well, his greatest mistake is not good for that.
I see you, champion. Sit, please.
Listen to the rumor.
A caravan of Asura make camp in the still sands south of here. We've tolerated them so
Definitely
far.
don't sound like rebels.
But their leader's a greedy
Maybe if
profiteer.
I
He
follow
steps
their
out of line,
tracks,
I'll
I can
gladly
find out
send
where
the
they're
whole
headed.
camp packing.
I can probably... That's fair enough.
Breaking even. Okay, Draka. Yeah, I'll be doing the side quests that are
Quite a risk being out here.
pretty big,
I should talk to them.
in my brain at least. That is a beautiful way to get up here. Oh, the base has changed a bit.
Like this? Oh, you're not waving a hammer around, Aaron. Try a gentler touch.
And my big sausage fingers don't really do gentle, okay?
Bring it back. Trace the line. To your right. Other right.
I just saw it. It's the one Aloy found up north. Gotcha. They call it a concussion beat party or something. Yeah, now that's music.
Aloy!
Erend, you're all better. And you're here.
Well, the world only goes on if you can do your thing. We learn fast enough, we help make that happen. You want all the backup you can get, right?
We still have much training to do, of course. One does not become hunter in a day.
Each seed grows at a pace of its own. Doesn't mean it won't bloom. You should know your Tanakh friend arrived.
Kotallo.
I heard their warriors drink people's blood. I want to sleep with one eye open.
I think he's seen enough blood for a lifetime.
I showed him to one of the rooms. He seems to appreciate the privacy.
Looks like you've got things under control. I should get this to Gaia.
Right. We'll keep on training. Catch up as fast as we can.
I'm seeing glyphs in my dreams already.
Well, while you've been off gallivanting around, I've been working with Gaia to find out more about the land gods. So from where I'm standing, you're in need of some training. Come along.
Okay.
Man, just get on with it already, you two. What the heck? Okay, might as well check out the dialogues, because it's always fun.
Hey.
A nice place.
Well, it's not like I built it or anything.
Right. Well, I can see why you had your doubts about bringing us along. It is a lot to take in. But, don't worry. That's nothing I can't handle.
Right. How are you settling in?
Varl's been helping me get the lay of the land, when he's not getting all tongue-tied. I don't know who makes him more nervous, that Gaia lady or our new Utaru friend.
What about the Vanguard? Aren't you supposed to be back east, ordering them around?
I sent some of them back to Meridian with a message. I doubt Avad will mind me sticking around to help the savior of Meridian.
Yeah, that might be fair.
So, you've met our new Tanakh friend.
He's, quiet. I thought his people were supposed to be bloodthirsty maniacs.
You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you trust him, so do I.
I trust him more because he helped me blow up a wall, but hey, it works.
I see Varl gave you a focus.
It doesn't look as fashionable on me, but by the Forge, the things I've been able to see. Granted, a lot of them are bad, you know, the old world ending and such. I'm still trying to wrap my head around most of it, but I never really understood how you were ever able to find my sister back in the Sun. And now I do, sort of. It makes me feel like I could be useful, you know?
It takes some time, but yeah. I guess you know what we're up against by now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When Varl first told me those bastards come from the stars, I thought he'd eaten too many of those medicinal berries. Yeah, but I've gotten used to seeing impossible things, thanks to you. I just wish they weren't always trying to kill us.
Yeah, you and me both.
If only it was that simple.
I gotta go.
I'm here if you need anything.
Okay, let's see.
Aloy, we've gathered some supplies in that chest. Take what you need.
Oh, wow. Hold on, Bellaback circulator, caster burrower circulator. Ooh, okay.
Looks like someone's made this space their own.
I see you found Varl and Zoe's room, Aloy. I believe they wanted private accommodations.
I see.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Aloy.
It's good to see you. I'm guessing you've got a lot of questions.
I've been told of our enemy and their intentions. Your friends showed me to the vision you keep in this place. Gaia, and gave me this focus. I don't pretend to fully understand everything, but all I really need to know is where to train and when to fight.
Welcome to the team, then. You said the Bulwark was your home a long time ago. That you were part of the Sky Clan.
Yes.
That's all you're gonna tell me?
Fine. As you wish. My parents were killed in a clan skirmish, so I was raised by my squad. As I grew older, I came to be known as an accomplished fighter. Tekote took a special interest in me. I fought by his side against the Karja, and led my squad on a dangerous climb into the Daunt. It was I who opened the gates at Barren Light from the east side, allowing the Tenakth to raise it.
That must have gotten you some attention.
Indeed. I was welcomed home as a hero, and I was content.
Then why'd you leave?
I became a marshal.
Why did you leave the Sky Clan to become a marshal?
I was sent to the Kulrut by Tekotteh. Back then, I would have obeyed his every order. I believed in him, like one would a father. I was too blind to see the fear in his eyes. Fear of a rising young warrior challenging his command of the clan. I returned a hero from the battle at Barren Light. But to him, I was only a threat. Never occurred to him that I had no interest in rising above my station.
I'm starting to feel bad for this man. Well, I always feel bad for him when I get to this part, but still, it's so awful.
Why did Tekotteh think you wouldn't be a threat to him if he sent you to the Kulrut?
Tekotteh knew that if I survived the Kulrut, I'd be forced to forsake the clan to serve the Tenakth as a whole. I'd never be allowed to challenge his command, even if I wanted to. After our victory at Barren Light, Tekotteh spoke to our people, said it would be selfish to rob Hekarro and the marshals of a warrior like myself, even though he knew perfectly well I had no intention of ever leaving. It was exile, guised as an honor. One he knew I couldn't refuse. So I became a marshal, and never looked back.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I am not. Though it pained me at the time, a marshal is what I was destined to be.
Yes, it is, and that is amazing that you came back that well.
When we were at the Bulwark, the guard said something about the Wings of the Ten. Hekarro also mentioned it at the Kulrut. Dekka, too. What does it mean?
The visions tell us that the Ten flew on great metal machines with wings, and leapt into battle from the sky. For us, to imitate this feat is the ultimate expression of martial prowess, and it is why the challengers leap into the arena during the Kulrut. Many times I imagined it as a child. The feeling of freedom, and the awe it must have inspired.
He is a warrior through and through.
What did Chief Hekarro say when you told him he'd be joining me here?
You spilt rebel blood at the Grove, and helped reunite the clans. There was little more to be said. He understood.
Well, I'm honored he lent me his best marshal. At least for a little while.
Indeed.
It's true, I am very honored by this, and I do love the fact that this group is expanding.
What are you looking at over there?
The others have been helping me decipher the symbols the Focus shows me. So, I thought I'd try to understand the weapon you intend to use against the enemy. This Hephaestus, it will be able to make machines that answer to Gaia?
Yes.
How many?
As many as we need.
Such power. Has the world ever seen the like?
Honestly, I wish I could answer him, because it technically has in this futuristic apocalypse, but still.
Now that you know who the enemy is, do you have any questions?
I'll admit, I find them hard to grasp. From the heavens. And invulnerable.
For now.
I will leave the strategy to you. I trust you will point my blade where it will cut the deepest.
I am grateful for your trust, but seriously, you gotta stop sounding like a villain.
What do you think of our squad?
They seem eager to fight. Though I admit it is strange to see a new Taru in the ranks. Farmers don't make for effective soldiers.
She seemed pretty effective when she took out the machines that were guarding this base.
Interesting. Perhaps I am mistaken.
Oh yeah, no, the English used to use the farmers as warriors all the time. That being said, those farmers lost their farmlands during the time, but still, it was very effective.
I should go. Feel free to check in on Hekarro and your people. Door's always open here.
I will. May the Ten walk with you.
Oh, come on. You should have said may the 10 fly with you. It would have been perfect.
Making good use of this. Wow, this place is starting to come alive.
Yeah, and Gaia placed all the data she got from your focus into that archive room. With the focuses you gave us, we'll be able to access it at our own pace. You know, learn and train. And if you need us, we'll be there to fight at your side.
Got it. Thanks, Varl.
I'll admit it, Varl is great. Absolutely perfect as a starting companion.
You've spoken with Kotallo?
I wanted to pay my respects for those who fell when we were ambushed at the embassy. Told him I'd never seen anyone throw themselves at a machine like he did. He said a warrior shouldn't be praised for fulfilling their duty. For a second I thought I was talking to my mother. Never thought a Tenakth and a Nora war chief could have so much in common.
That's very true. It is kind of odd, but hey, cultural differences still make some very interesting connections at the same time.
How's everyone handling their focus?
And we all have our difficult moments. Erend definitely curses the most. But I'm hoping Oseram's stubbornness prevails.
Sounds accurate. Stubbornness almost always prevails, though it doesn't help advance. Potato, potato.
How's everyone doing?
Just taking it all in. No one snapped their bowstrings yet.
How's, training with Zoe?
You know we really are training. Mostly. Look, she reads glyphs faster than I can already. I'd be a fool to refuse her help.
Of course.
They're getting some after training going on there too, I'm sure.
You guys reading something over there?
We just finished going through all the logs you collected back in Nora territory, and All Mother Mountain. It's hard to imagine that my ancestors were trapped inside, without the knowledge from Apollo to guide them.
Thanks to Ted Faro.
Yeah. I wonder how it must have felt when they were finally free. The world must have seemed so beautiful.
Not to mention terrifying. They weren't much more than kids.
And they became an entire tribe.
Varl has such optimism over everything. It's beautiful to see. But no, Aloy is right. It must have looked terrifying if all they knew was these kinds of rooms.
Looks like I was wrong about the Zeniths. Their ship didn't explode on its way to Sirius like everyone thought.
We saw how they lied about creating a better future at their launch facility. Guess they lied about what happened to their ship, too. But still, the tribe settling amongst the stars.
I couldn't put a single dent in their shields, Varl. That one Zenith almost killed me.
That didn't stop you from resurrecting Gaia. Won't stop us from using Hephaestus against them.
Let's hope that's enough.
Again, great optimism.
Hold the fort while I'm gone?
If Erend stops listening to the same music over and over again, maybe. We'll be fine.
I have a family member who would probably complain about the same thing. Terrible as that might be, it's true.
Varl looks happy about his training partner.
Learning is best done together.
Have you gone back to Plainsong at all?
I thought about it, but I wouldn't know what to tell them. The chorus already thinks me a thorn in the thicket. If they knew what we did to Fa, even if they understood, there'd be little they could grasp about all this. No. For now, I must leave the tribe behind.
Quite the I don't know if it's selfless or selfish. Honestly, I really don't. But hey, good for you, Zoe.
So, how does a tribe like the Utaru manage to maintain the peace with warriors like the Tenakth?
By holding them off. When our fields bloomed aplenty, the Tenakth looked upon our lands with envy. But Plainsong's dishes provided sanctuary and high ground to keep invaders at bay. In the end, even the Tenakth saw sense in a truce. The Utaru promised to provide the Tenakth with food from our crops every year. In exchange, the Tenakth would relinquish one of their own, a veteran, to train the Utaru in combat. This custom was abandoned a few years after the derangement. But some veterans still remain in the plains.
Well, that's good.
I've been meaning to ask, what's the deal with you and the chorus? You didn't seem to be on the best of terms.
That's what happens when you're the one Utaru who insists on publicly defying them. Twice. When the Carja invaded the Utaru plains, they did more than just attack our villages. They burned our fields, took our people as slaves, and murdered those who were too weak to make the trip back to Meridian.
To be sacrificed in the Sun Ring.
I was helping the healers back then, as waves of refugees swarmed into Plainsong. The chorus was divided in how to face the invaders. Some saw sense in raising arms. Others believed the dishes would keep us safe, as they had many times before. And while they bickered, I buried the seeds of the fallen.
I feel so bad for Zoe in this process. Like, she buried so many people. Some of them, a lot of them actually, were probably her friends.
Couldn't have been easy. Seeing your people suffer while the Carja invaded your lands.
I come from a small village near Plainsong. My grandmother used to say there was no seed that wouldn't grow there. I moved to the dishes when I decided to apprentice as a healer. When the Red Raids began, I thought about going back. But the injured kept pouring into Plainsong, day after day. So I kept putting it off. One day, I woke up to hear a Carja raiding party had ransacked my village during the night. I rushed there with the healers to help the survivors, but there weren't any left. The smell of burning flesh haunts me to this day.
I'm sorry, Zoe.
I made it a point to appear before the chorus as soon as we returned, to demand that we take a stand against the invaders. I was denied. So I left to fight on my own.
She is more courageous than any person should be. It borders foolhardy to stupidity, one of those two. But at the same time, her reason for it is absolutely worth it.
You said you set out to fight the Carja alone?
I did. But it turned out I wasn't the only one. News of my disagreement with the chorus spread through the plains. Before I knew it, I had more than a dozen Utaru warriors ready to follow me into battle. We knew we couldn't take on the Carja armies head-on, but we also knew the lay of the land better than they did. We ambushed smaller raiding parties, sabotaged their supply lines, and hit their encampments at night.
Sounds like you were a force to be reckoned with.
Enough that the Tenakth took notice. When the clans began to push the Carja back east, they let us join their ranks. We chased the enemy all the way to Barren Light.
That is absolutely amazing that they did all of that without the warrior training from the Tenakth. Well, with some of it, but not enough to actually be worthwhile.
You said you were at Barren Light when the Tenakth defeated the Carja?
Tenakth marshals climbed the cliffs of the Daunt under cover of night, then attacked from the other side. Before we knew it, the gates were open, and the full force of the clans burst through. What happened next was not something I like to remember. When all the dust and blood settled, I smelled it again. The stench of burnt flesh. Our enemies defeated. What was left of my squad returned to the Utaru Plains. I went back to Plainsong. But even as the harvests passed, it didn't feel like I'd truly returned at all.
Is that when you became a grave singer?
I thought soothing the suffering of others would somehow appease my own. Then you came along and gave me a choice. I could either sing at people's graves or fight for a chance to keep them alive.
I'm glad you chose the latter.
Honestly, her background is so devastatingly sad. Why? Why? At the same time, she is a warrior who came back broken and is trying so desperately to fix herself. It is beautiful.
You've spoken with Kotallo?
A few words. Tenakth don't have much use for us outsiders. You must have made quite the impression for him to offer his fealty.
Something like that, yeah.
So you've been talking to Gaia?
Yes. She was kind enough to take me through some of the history of the Old Ones, including their demise and the heroic actions of her creator, Elizabeth Sobek. I was surprised to see she was you. Past, but reborn? Not that I claim to understand how.
You and Aloy both. Don't worry about it, Zoe.
You've been getting to know Erend, I assume?
Of course. Any friend of Varl's is a friend of mine. In this case, a very loud friend.
Why is everybody commenting on how loud he is?
What are you up to?
Gaia was kind enough to put together a list of glyphs used by the Old Ones. She helped me decipher some of the data you've collected and showed me how to use the focus to help the process. It's not easy, but it's been working so far.
That's good to hear.
Honestly, it always felt like all that data in the first game would be basically wasted in this game. I'm glad to see somebody gets a use out of it. It's always good.
I see you've settled in.
Gaia did say this place was built for us, so we could regain control of our lands with her terraforming system. Nurture them like the land gods do Plainsong's fields. It does strike me as odd that a place of life should have so much metal.
Yes, I find that odd as well, but hey, only have so much you can work with, right?
Did Gaia tell you anything about the Zeniths?
She did, though it wasn't exactly easy to believe. To think that there are places among the stars where life can bloom as it does here, it is humbling, to say the least, and heartbreaking that such life should be bent on destroying ours.
And that is my problem with the Zeniths. Why kill off everybody?
Right. I should probably go.
Oh, it feels ridiculous. That absolutely feels ridiculous. Okay. When I first played this, I played it on the PS4. I managed to skip through so much of the loading that I fell through the map right there.
Welcome back, Aloy. When you're ready, please merge Ether with me. Afterwards, I must discuss an important matter with you.
Alrighty, ladies and gents. I'm going to end it here, mostly because it has been 40 minutes or so. And I remembered this being a bit of a lengthy, cutscene. There it is. And I do like to show off all the dialogue that I go through when I play this game, so I will catch you all in the next one.